Hey everyone, this time on Tim Talks Audio, we're going to go over what does all buttons in mean. When we're talking about all buttons in, we're already talking about emulations of an 1176 style compressor. There's a lot of different plugin variations out there, and pretty much all of them can do this trick. There's a few variances here and there, but I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So on an 1176 style compressor, the hardware units actually had push button ratios, but engineers in England used to take all 4 of those ratio buttons, push and hold them in, and would make the 1176 have this very saturated, fluctuating ratio that really added a good, gritty sound. It changed a few other operations under the hood as well. The ratio would vary between 12 and 20 to 1, and the attack and release times still helped, but it was more program dependent at this point. An 1176 style compressor is already pretty program dependent as it is. Let's quit talking about it and get into some audio examples. So let's dive into the DAW. A really good example for this all buttons in trick is on room drum mics. I have a mono room drum mic right here, and this was recorded from my drum set in my basement, but you can still get some really good sounds. This track was a shotgun microphone faced away from the drum kit, and let's go ahead and take a listen to what it sounds like without any processing on it. So you can hear there's a little bit of room ambience going on. Like I said, this microphone's facing away from the drum kit. You can still hear a lot of the beef from the kick drum, some of the snap of the snare drum, and a little bit of the sizzle from the hi-hat. Now let's throw in a couple 1176 style compressors on here and throw all buttons in mode on them. And we're just going to go through a number of examples because as you can see loaded up, I have a bunch of different 1176 or FET style compressors. We're going to start off with the stock fat channel FET comp, and you can see I have all buttons in mode. I'm going to let it play for a little bit, and then I'm going to click this in, and you'll hear what it does. So you can see when we engaged the FET comp inside the fat channel, there was a lot of saturation that was going on. And I pushed it really hard. I brought this input way up to cause the compressor and the transients to really get squished down. I wanted to push that fluctuating ratio closer to 20 to 1. You can see I have the attack and release times set to their fastest because when the transient comes in, I want it to squish down and then I want it to release back up, causing this pulse that's going on in the room. Then the output control is just to set me back to the level where I was without the compressor in. Also, having the input up causes a bit more saturation, and that's something I want to show you in these examples. The cool thing about the 1176 hardware is no two sounded exactly alike. So, in this digital age that we live in, no two plugins sound alike either. Now we can actually go through all of the different 1176 style compressors that I have going on this same room, and a lot of the settings are very close. But you'll hear the differences between the different iterations of the 1176. So you can see, because the 1176 and all buttons in mode is so popular, and just the 1176 in general, there's so many different styles of this compressor. And each one, as you heard here, has its own characteristics. They all sound a little different. I am curious, which ones did you like the best? Let me know in the comments below. So you can see all buttons in mode can add a really nice level of saturation. You can actually take the attack and release controls and slow them down and get more saturation and not as much compression with this trick. And it's not just for drums too. Try this on bass, try this on your guitar bus, try this on like a gritty vocal. If you want some of that saturation, do some all buttons in and drive the input on an 1176 style compressor. It'll really saturate those vocals very nicely. That's all for now. If you found anything informative, please like and share the video. For more, visit timflansbaum.com. And if you have a question, ask it in the comments and I'll answer it in a future video. Thanks for watching.